Hey guys, we have energy today in a week this week that is drawing to the end, our Scorpio cycle and our Scorpio season, our eclipse season, and also simultaneously representing a new cycle and a new beginning that is likely to bring some blessings and some much more positive experiences going forward over this next couple of weeks. We do have Mercury and Venus coming into an exact conjunction in the sky today. This is a very exact alignment between our mind and our thoughts and what is in our heart. And we're talking about this happening in the sign of Sagittarius after the past couple months of this retrograde season where we were really redefining and reevaluating a lot of our preferences and a lot of our desires. So it seems as though today is marking a period of time where we're about to step into a new cycle in a much greater alignment with an authentic truth and a deep core truth regarding what it is that we want, how we want to relate to others, what we value, and generally how we want to interact with the relationship dynamics of our lives, sort of starting now and going forward. This week that is representing endings and simultaneously some new blessed beginnings. Let's get into this chart, you guys. Let's talk about this energy, how it's coming together, and what we may be able to expect in our experience on the ground today. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Monday, November 21st, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the day. And if you guys stick with me till the end of the report, we are also going to be doing a collective tarot reading so that we can tap the field for more than one modality and just get a more well-rounded overview of what may be going on a vibrational level for us out there today. But we're starting with the astrology, guys, as we always do, and we are starting a new week. And again, this is a week of endings, and it's a week of beginnings. We have a very, very beautiful new moon in Sagittarius where Jupiter is just like supersized in true Jupiterian fashion, but very much the star of the show as we are coming into this Jupiter Sagittarius new moon cycle. And this should be a pretty positive period of some expansion that can really benefit us in one way or another. So we've got good things coming at us this week and new beginnings, new cycles, new moon we're talking about, but also simultaneously we are today entering the balsamic phase of the moon. The moon is coming back into Scorpio where it started when we began this new moon cycle, and we are closing things out, coming to the end of this cycle that has been about some pretty significant endings on both like a physical, like things happening in our lives level, and also in terms of just like some attachments or ways of thinking or ways of being, or again, these like preferences and desires and certain patterns. Generally, this has been a karmic detox, and we've been graduating and evolving out of a lot of patterns, breaking a lot of cycles on an energetic level over the course of this eclipse season, which is also about some very faded changings and endings and new beginnings, and simultaneously the Scorpio cycle, which Scorpio is also the sign that is representing this death and rebirth theme as well. And then we had it aligning with this eclipse season and just the way that all this energy played out, and also Venus having been eclipsed for our new moon that was also this partial solar eclipse. It was just definitely representing the end of some patterns, especially in relating to others and relating to ourselves in terms of what we value, in terms of our level of like superficial indulgence of things and the images that we maintain in order to like keep like a status, and just like all of the more superficial and shallow dynamics of perhaps like our relations with others and stuff like that. This period I feel like is sort of like marking an end of as well. And then here we are, it's very interesting as the moon is coming back into the sign of Scorpio and we are ending this phase, and simultaneously we have Venus and Mercury in an exact conjunction. And Venus and Mercury have been doing this like interesting dance with each other over this past couple of new moon cycles. They have been, because of Mercury's retrograde process, they have made a few different conjunctions, and they actually traveled for a while together. I believe it was in the end of Virgo and into Libra, and they were in mutual reception for a while. There has been this blending of this more mercurial, like Virgo actually based energy, because Mercury rules both Gemini and Virgo, and this Venus Venusian energy. And so with the Mercury retrograde and Venus and Mercury having traveled together for portions of that time, I was thinking, you know, this is a period where we are really redefining our values, redefining our desires, redefining what we love and what we want especially in like the more practical ways of relating to the world, because, and the relationship dynamics as well, considering this happened in Virgo and Libra. And now here we are again, a few months later, Mercury finally catching back up to Venus after the retrograde process, and this conjunction happening in the sign of Sagittarius, which is all about the truth. After, and to close out the Scorpio cycle where Venus was eclipsed, and the Venus eclipse energy has also been, that is that energy that has been like removing the superficial layer, like removing the comfort zone, and like forcing us to look at the truth and the core of what we're passionate about and what we desire and what we love and what we really want, in the context of all this retrograde energy that has had us redefining so many different areas of our lives as we go through this process where universe is trying to shift us in such a way and move us and shake us up and make us just uncomfortable enough so that we will like change in ways that are beneficial to the development of like our soul's true purpose and this process of self-actualization that we are really being sort of very strongly urged towards as we are going through this collective transition into the age of Aquarius, which is what we are always talking about in this process that is happening on the microcosm level, on the day-by-day level, as a part of this unfolding ripple effect that is carrying us through time and space, this cosmic story. And right now, this redefining of these values, this redefining of these preferences, and now these two planets coming back together in the sign of Sagittarius, which is all about the truth. I feel like it's very telling, and it's very telling as well the degree where this is specifically happening. It's actually happening at the exact to the minute alignment between Mercury and Venus is happening at 5:39 p.m. today on the 21st Eastern time. That's where I am right now. And it is happening at exactly 7 degrees and 8 minutes of the sign of Sagittarius, which I find to be interesting. 7, 8. This is a consecutive number. It could be any number, you know, anywhere in the degree, but to have it be, you know, 7 degrees, 8 minutes, and the numbers in a consecutive order like this, I do feel like this is also talking about an evolution or making progress or moving to the next level in like a linear way. This is the next phase of growth, what this new cycle is representing. And we're talking about two planets coming into a conjunction together. And this is a new beginning of a new cycle. And it's happening in the sign of Sagittarius, which is about expansion and which is about like an open mind and an open heart and the truth and the freedom to express and align with the truth of what's in our heart, which is what we've discovered throughout this Scorpio cycle, the entirety of it, having Venus having been eclipsed and having to really get to the bottom of what it is that we really want to feel fulfilled and give us comfort and make us feel like we are like happiness and joy and pleasure, like all these Venus attributes and like beauty in our lives, but coming from this deep core place and this place of like sincere and honest truth and authenticity. And then it's interesting because we're talking about the degree where this is happening. It's like I said, 7 degrees and 8 minutes of Sagittarius. But when we take the Sabian symbols into consideration, which is another thing that we do on this channel, I'm always looking at the Sabian symbols in the context of the energy and any degree that is being discharged. And the Sabian symbols are, of course, a group of symbols that there's one for each and every one of the degrees of the zodiac, and they just symbolically represent that specific energetic. And when we're talking about the Sabian symbols, we round up a degree because we read the wave of energy as it's coming in and really starting to manifest and to express itself, as opposed to when it's like dissipating and going out. So when we're reading the Sabian symbols and looking at them in the context of the astrology and the aspects, we always round up. So even though, you know, 7 degrees, 8 minutes, this is where this aspect is happening, I am looking at the Sabian symbol for 8 degrees of Sagittarius, and that Sabian symbol is deep within the depths of the earth. New elements are being formed. So again, we're talking about a new cycle, Mercury and Venus, in terms of first of all, our perception of our relationship to ourselves and our value and our worth, but also what we value and what we find to be worthy of our time and energy, attention, and what we want to relate to and how we want to relate and what it is that we truly desire, like really coming to like a mental alignment, like really understanding ourselves on this level. And in the sign of Sagittarius, these truths that we've come to and wanting to have the freedom to express these truths throughout the course of this new cycle that we are going through, this new cycle in like mentally relating to our own personal desires, but In this Scorpio cycle, with Venus having been eclipsed in this eclipse season and the moon coming back into Scorpio today, I feel like this is a new cycle about really coming to this place of acknowledging, like on a mental level, a desire for these like deeper connections as well. I feel like this is also talking about the value that we are realizing exists in finding like more just deeply meaningful connections coming out of this Venus and Scorpio energy, and with this conjunction happening at this degree. An understanding of the value of deep connections, I feel like, is a key phrase for this energy that we are moving into as this new cycle of this Mercury Venus energy unfolds. People are likely to be expressing a lot of love and a lot of affection and really saying like what is in their heart. Also, when we're talking about Mercury, the messenger, the mind, coming into the conjunction with Venus, the heart. This is proclamations of love, you guys. This is like conversations that we're talking about, lots of relationship conversations going on, lots of people like expressing their feelings and expressing love, and almost like spilling over with, you know, feelings of compassion or affection, or just wanting to be and express and like relate with others. This is like very highly romantic energy as well. We do want to be a bit careful of, you know, what people are saying on one hand, because we have to remember this is the planet Mercury. Mercury right now is ruling the current position of Mars, who is in an exact square to Neptune in the sign of Pisces. This can be sort of some confusion or some disoriented action, or not really sure what to believe, or false images or distortions of reality or fantasies about stuff. We want to be very careful about like, and with Venus and Mercury together, this is like the silver tongue. This is, it can be a very like seductive energy as well. And it's like prime for being able to like, you know, get somebody to do what you want them to do through saying things in a way and really playing on, you know, their desires or what they want, or again, just like this more seductive energy that can come with the Mercury Venus exact conjunction. And with Mars also in the square to Neptune, we do want to be a bit careful. It's also funny because of the position of the sun today, you guys. The sun is at 30 degrees of Scorpio, about to exit Scorpio and enter the sign of Sagittarius tomorrow. We have our new moon on the 23rd. Tomorrow the sun enters the sign of Sagittarius. We are really getting into the Sagittarius energy, but today, like I said, you know, we are closing out the Scorpio cycle. We are in the last day of Sun and Scorpio energy, and that Sabian symbol 30 Scorpio is children in Halloween costumes indulging in various pranks, which while we have Mars and square to Neptune, that is right in alignment with that whole vibe right there. And then I also think about like Venus and Mercury. That also sort of reminds me of like this trick or treat theme as well, because Mercury in, you know, even in like Native American astrology and stuff, like is associated with the trickster archetype on one hand as well. It's like this trick energy, you know, because it's like this dual sides of things, and it's also very fast, and there's just some various you know, Mercury throughout various traditions and stuff has been portrayed as a trickster energy as well. And then we're also talking about Venus energy, which is like the treat and the indulgence and the pleasure. So with the sun at that degree about the children in Halloween costumes indulging in various pranks, and also Venus and Mercury together, which could be like a trick or treat type energy. And also Mercury right now is ruling the position of Mars, who is in a square to Neptune. So we just want to be careful about some like very beautiful like sales pitches or proclamations of love or something like that. We want to make sure that we are not, it's not that, you know, we shouldn't trust it or like whatever, but we just don't want to let it push us into some type of action that is like reckless or not strategic or not well thought out. Like we don't want to take some type of like rash action based on just something that is sort of pushing our buttons in some type of way that could either be like a trick or treat type in this energy. So that I find to be interesting as well. We don't want to be deceived or seduced into doing anything that's not like genuinely good for us. But overall, It should be a very optimistic day. We are talking about this conjunction happening in the sign of Sagittarius. It's like a big mind and a big heart and a meeting of a big mind and a big heart. This is like people generally in a very good mood, being like very just, you know, open-hearted and kind. And not only that, we also have the sun still in a trine to Jupiter, which is one of the best aspects of astrology. This is, you know, fortunate and blessed and very lucky. It's good for finances. It's good. People are just generally like in this like jovial mood and more like jolly, you know what I mean? And people are just like happier. Mercury Venus is also shopping and transactions and being very busy, like whining and dining and out and about and transactions and relating and socializing and interacting with others. And then with the Jupiter energy, like in a very expansive, open-hearted, positive, joyful way, there could also be some very good deals going on right now, especially financial deals or relationships that are coming together right now. But we just want to be careful that we are, you know, not jumping into things, and anything that we are starting right now along those lines, we need to realize there will need to probably be some type of revision that goes on at some point along the way. Like this is probably not the final version with Mars retrograde, but you know, it really is like a very positive overall energy that we have playing out today. And this is, I do feel like, a pretty benefic conjunction of Mercury and Venus that we have going on simultaneously, a beautiful energy. And also, like I was saying, the moon leaves Libra today, which is also ruled by Venus. So when we wake up today, actually, the moon will still be in the sign of Libra, ruled by Venus. It will make a trine to Mars and also a square to Pluto. So we may actually feel a little bit tense. There could be some like feisty energy or conversations going on. We may be a bit like fired up in the early part of the day to start the day. But then the moon will leave the sign of Libra. This could be also be like power struggles and like ego clashes of wills and stuff like that. And just really like putting our foot down and speaking our mind and saying how we feel and saying what we want about things. Like, be ready to hear people's like wants and desires and how they feel about things and what they think and what they value and what they want for themselves. And like, these are the things that people are just generally geared to. We talk about also what's going on in their relationships and their romantic life for sure, but also finances and business. These are the type of things that people are likely to be talking about. But after the moon leaves the sign of Libra, where it makes a square to Pluto and the trine to Mars, it will enter Scorpio, but it will also be then like void of course for the rest of the day, which is kind of things up in the air type of energy. Not really, like there might be some disruptions to plans and stuff like that. Like this is things not really going maybe as we thought that they would, or just kind of like hard to pin down. We may feel a little bit not really sure. Like I said, things may be kind of a bit up in the air, but I feel like, you know, our primary focus is going to be doing what we like and, you know, thinking about, we can't get our mind off our heart. And in whatever way that manifests for us, whether that be a person or that be a passion or that be, you know, a material thing as well with Venus, or a money type of thing as well. Like we're likely to be very focused on, you know, what we are feeling like we are enjoying and loving, or pleasure, or like I said, indulgence could be a real thing right now as well too. Like this is honestly a great week, especially with Mars squaring Neptune, to be like on some type of beach vacation, like, or just sort of like relaxing and not pushing ourselves too hard and just allowing ourselves to be like more creative and like indulging and stuff more, like if at all possible. This is a good week for that. Last week, this is actually, it's really beautiful that like Thanksgiving in the United States is falling in the context of this energy, because really it is showing energetically a lot of gratitude for various blessings that are coming through at this period of time, because Jupiter is the Santa Claus planet and Jupiter brings gifts and Jupiter brings blessings, and Jupiter is large and in charge right now. And especially over this next couple days, you know, we are closing out this cycle. Like I said, this is a cycle of endings, so there may be a last like hump we need to get over in terms of this emotional turbulence or these more difficult things that we've been dealing with over this next couple of days as we head towards this new moon. But there really should be some good things coming to us, well earned, well deserved, over the course of our new moon and Scorpio cycle. So overall, I do feel like this is a new cycle. This is, like I said, marking both an ending and a beginning this week. And today, sort of the same, we got the moon in Scorpio, we are culminating the cycle, but simultaneously there's this new cycle with Mercury, Venus, the mind and the heart in alignment coming together. I feel like we are leaving behind mindsets that have essentially like kept us from getting what it is that we truly want. Maybe not what we thought we wanted in the past, and that old version of ourselves that had those different preferences and those different desires, maybe more in alignment with a more shallow version of ourselves, and therefore reflecting that back to us and never truly fulfilling us. But that's not the case anymore. And now we have this deeper level of understanding of what truly fills our cup up on that soul level. And that's what we are yearning for. That's what we are desiring. That's what we find value in. And that is what we are mentally like aligning with moving forward at this point in time, leaving behind the mindsets that have kept us from getting what we truly want, and also simultaneously understanding and seeing and embracing our own value and our own worth. Shifting preferences, mindsets, and values being solidified in this energy as we are finally stepping away from, releasing the baggage from the past that kept us in this place from being able to embrace that, which is ultimately, of course, leading us to the space of much greater happiness and fulfillment. The end of a cycle of superficial indulgence, I feel like this is representing as well. The beginning of a cycle based in truth and expansion of deep, meaningful connection. And you guys, we're also in this 222 year, right? Which is doing that and which has been working towards helping us come to that point where we are able to connect with, magnetize, and receive the things and the opportunities and the relationships and the interactions and partnerships that can really fill us up on that soul-based level and are a reflection of what we authentically really truly desire. And here we are now closing out this Scorpio cycle after everything that this eclipse season this year and this cycle has brought to us, and also the degree of the conjunction itself. Like I said, deep within the depths of the earth, new elements are being formed, redefining values and desires in alignment with our personal and our spiritual truths. Remember, right now, Jupiter is sort of moving back and forth between Aries, the personal truths, Aries ruling the self, and Pisces, the higher, more spiritual truths. So it's this, and Jupiter's also, you guys, about to station direct. Like, it's so beautifully and magically orchestrated that Jupiter will be stationing direct on our new moon in Sagittarius this year as well. So Jupiter is really slowed down and stationed in the sky right now, which is enhancing Jupiter's magnitude and strength and power right now as well. So these Sagittarius planets in this new cycle redefining values and desire in alignment with both these personal and spiritual truths that we are expanding into. And it is really doing some good things for us moving forward. And we are looking forward, you guys, to this next couple of weeks. So that's what I have to say about the astrology today. Overall, should be a pretty beautiful day. We do want to watch out for this trick or treat component. We want to make sure that we are not jumping before we have tested our wings, okay? So there's that we are, keeping a handle on a little bit. We're not just flying off the handle based on anything that looks nice to us, or more importantly, sounds sweet to us today, sounds stimulates us on a more mental level, and also Venus level, all the levels, okay? We're talking about Venus and Mercury together. So that's what I have to say about the astrology. Beautiful energy today, and new cycles in our understanding of our own desires and our own value. Let's talk about the tarot for a minute. This to me is also, the way the cards came out, talking about coming to the end of essentially a period of maybe indecision or struggle or inability to move forward, or apathy, essentially coming back to life and re-embracing a new opportunity or a new sense of value that we are recognizing. We are essentially just holding in our hands. It's we are seeing ourselves through a new lens, and as a result of that, we're sort of being inspired to keep going in the face of perhaps what may be, holding us back in the past, or we may have been questioned in a place with Mars squaring Neptune as well, where we're really questioning whether it's worth putting our energy or our effort into something, or whether we're ever going to make it, or whether we're ever going to persevere. But the energy today is talking about coming to a point where we are sort of ready to move forward, to like keep going despite the odds, against the odds, and we believe in ourselves, like a restored sense of opportunity and faith in our opportunity. So let's talk about the cards themselves now. First card we had coming out of the deck is the Two of Pentacles in reverse, followed by the Nine of Wands, and then we had the Sun card, and then we had the Page of Pentacles with the Four of Cups in reverse on the back of the deck. So first of all, the major arcana card that we have here is the Sun. So the overall like energy that is like most prominent essentially is this sun energy, is this rebirth energy, is this coming back to life energy. But like what's in the context of that, we have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. This is like coming to the end of indecision, or things not being balanced, or an inability to come to a conclusion about things or to make a choice. And this is the Nine of Wands, like if I should keep going, like if I should continue to push forward despite the obstacles and the setbacks that I've been facing. This spread right here is saying like, yes, like we're rediscovering and we're feeling like alive again, and whatever's coming through, it's like we are like seeing the opportunity, this Page of Pentacles, this opportunity for growth, this opportunity for development, this, you know, world, or this golden coin essentially that we have in like the palm of our hand, and we're looking at and we're thinking about what we could do with it. And it's representing also like this value or this potential that we're seeing as well. Something about, like I said, like this alignment, Venus, Mercury, like what we're realizing, what we're discovering, what we're coming to find or to see in ourselves or about ourselves, or in our circumstances or about our circumstances, or, you know, just something to do with something along those lines is lighting us up, inspiring us, motivating us, bringing us back to life in some type of way to keep going. It's like we are making something that may have been, and then with the Four of Cups on the back of the deck, this is the cup of like not wanting to deal with it, like not being interested, being very apathetic about things, like not even wanting to look at the reality or what's going on or see the opportunity. Like, look at, like, this is a guy who's like refusing to look at this cup that is being handed to him through this like heavenly force, this cloud in the sky. Like, he doesn't even want to know. He's not even interested. And he doesn't want to, like, he's in such a state that he's like, I don't even care. Like, I'm just in this state right now. And like, I don't even want it to turn around because like with what's in that cup. And so it's like but it's in reverse, the way that these cards are coming out. So it's like we're coming out of a state of not seeing what's right in front of our face, or not wanting to see what's right in front of our face, or neglecting to see what's right in front of our face, or neglecting to embrace an opportunity or a skill or a talent or a potential that we have, or not looking at it in such a way that it is meaningful to us. Like, something is happening that is shining a light or illuminating something of value or worth or potential or meaning to us in some type of a way that is helping us to make the choice to keep going towards developing that potential, or towards becoming that, or towards materializing like the goal, or that's just, you know, whatever this pentacle could possibly turn into. It's saying that we are coming out of a point, we are, you know, grabbing that cup now, and we are looking at it differently, and we're seeing the potential in it, and it's changing our perspective, and it's inspiring us and lighting us up. And I mean, the Sun card, this is one of the best cards in the tarot, right? And it's also about this like rebirth and this very creative and successful and abundant energy as well. So we are deciding, especially something we maybe have been putting off or struggling against, or just haven't been able to, like, didn't know what we should do. It's like we're recognizing a new value in something that is causing us and motivating us to want to move forward despite the obstacles, or the apparent obstacles, or, you know, the burnout or the trouble, or wherever we're at right now. Something is bringing us back to life in such a way that we are ready to keep going in order to get to what we want, in order to develop that value and potential. Now let's grab one more card, you guys. A synchronicity card. God, Spirit, Universe, what is one last additional piece of advice that we can use to navigate this day today, which should be a very nice day for us? What does it say? It says, forget the past, you guys. What was I saying? Oh my gosh. what was I saying? And it's so funny, like right when I said that, I don't know if this is relevant to anybody, but I saw 444 on my recorder right there. So just putting that out there as well. But we are in the end of this cycle about endings. We are closing out this cycle about endings, a cycle about stuff from the past, and moving on, gaining this new perception. And it's literally saying the card, forget the past. Also in the context of the tarot as well, where we are like moving on from the state of indecision and we're going like being reinvigorated and rebirthed. It all fits together so lovely. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. Give up your worldly beliefs and learn the truths of life. Feed your subconscious mind with life-giving patterns. The sun. Accept the positive aspects of God and let go of all the negativity. Forget the past, get on with the future. In this way, your spirit will gradually grow and you will reach your goal. Like literally, that's exactly what this tarot message says as well. It says, you know, we are moving on from things that kept us stuck in the past in a state of indecision or inability to move. Like we are looking at the brighter side of things and being re-inspired and re-inspired to move forward despite and against the odds by like focusing on our faith and like the optimism and the hope that's carrying us through as well. This Jupiter energy towards our goals, this Page of Pentacles that wants to be developed as well. So that's what we got, you guys. Forget the past. It's coming through literally like all the way around. So that's the message today from the stars, the message from the cards. I hope you guys liked it. I hope I was able to provide something for you that can give you just a little bit of whatever you may be seeking in the Sagittarius energy as you go throughout the course of your day today. If you guys did like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think that they would like this kind of astrology content too. Leave me comments, you guys. I love your comments. I really appreciate you guys being here. I love knowing how these energies are affecting you. Thank you so, so much. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other social medias. Those are in my description box below. And come back with me tomorrow, you guys. We are going to have the sun entering the sign of Sagittarius tomorrow. So we're going to talk about that. And we've got some other things to talk about as well, as we are going to be on our last day of the Scorpio cycle as we prepare for our new moon in Sag that is coming up on Wednesday. So I'll be here, guys. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. And I will see you then, everybody. Have a beautiful day. And until tomorrow, bye, guys.